But I know what you're going to say, just a little bit, but I really don't know. So I'm going to let you go ahead and say it, and we only got a few minutes left, but
Okay.
I want to add to what you're going to say, because I think you're saying something that I've wanted to say for a long time.
Okay. So back when I first got saved,
Yeah.
first chapter of the book, when the Lord put his head to my head, he showed me all these things that's going to happen. They were great and terrible.
Yes.
But nothing seems so terrible when Jesus is standing there, you know he's in control.
Yes.
But there's too many things to remember all at one time. And so God will pick things now, Pastor Jim, and he's like, now. And he will tell me, and then I'm allowed to share that. And I remember parts, but I'm not allowed to share those publicly yet because God hasn't said. But in this one, he said, he showed me there was a snake, a serpent, that ran underneath the United States. A whole bunch of different things. The United States broke. In the spirit, the United States broke. And there were good states and there were bad states. Now let me explain. A good state was a conservative state. Doesn't make it that it loves God anymore. It was just a conservative state. And then there were states that were going to do horrific things, like they were going to be like Sodom and Gomorrah, like abort a baby once it's born.
Yeah.
I mean, Sodom and Gomorrah states, and something was going to break the states, and there were good states and bad states. And there were only 3 Christian states of the good states. Only 3 Christian states.
That's all?
You can be a Christian in a conservative state, but it's going to be very hard to be a Christian in a bad state. So there was a lot of moving around. It's very, very sad. And I have on my website, somebody had recorded me doing visions back in 2014, 2015. And I put those up for people because there's things that people can do right now to be ready. And probably the most important of those 4 things that people can do is make sure you have a passport. Make sure your children have a passport, because you're not going to be able to cross a state line to cross different things unless you can prove that that child is yours. And people adopt all the time. Just because a kid doesn't look like you doesn't mean it's not your child. And so a passport is about $130. And when the Lord gave me this word about the passports, Jim, it was back in 2014. Somebody said to me, Lori, what do you need? I have many grandchildren. I have 13 grandbabies. One lives in heaven now. So I need to always be updating 12. Our daughter does it, but that's a lot of passports. We need to be sure that we help people in these times. We have to help them. But we also have to be wise. So we have to wait, God to tell us this is when you can share this, because he's made a way so that the church isn't afraid. And that, I think, is one of the number 1 problems, that the church gets afraid.